Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 1 of Social Chats with Keep It Simple Social Media. My name is Heather.
And I'm Catherine. Hello.
And what we're going to do today is we're going to review our social media marketing world 2017 in San Diego, some of the really important things that we did learn there. Number one, we want to welcome the people that are now watching the replay and to know that this is always going to be up for you to come back to over time. You're welcome to grab a pen and pencil and take down some of the really exciting things that we're going to share with you over the next hour. So, Catherine, we thought we would start by sharing with you a little bit about social media being one of the fastest changing industries there is today. And having said that, we certainly learned so many things that we already didn't know about, even though we have our finger on the pulse of social media every single day. So if you're feeling, a little bit overwhelmed by all of the changes or even getting started with social media, it's okay. It's okay. This is actually a journey. It's not a destination. And like everything else in life, technology tends to change in order to make it easier and more friendly for you to use.
Yeah, and I think there's a big talk, actually the opening talk was about the fact that social media is platforms are getting really crowded and Facebook is starting to run out of ad space and so on and so forth. So what's going to matter now more than ever is content, right? I think that was one of the best things that stood out is you have to really think what you're going to post. It's not going to fly. It never really did for engagement, but just to post a nice image because you haven't posted that day is not going to cut it anymore. You really have to start being more strategic, think about your content, really bring something to people. People are getting to be kind of more concerned about what you're putting out there. It's not just a show, even for images, even for Instagram, you might as well post 3 photos a week. They're going to be really, really nice and trying to fill the space every other day. So content, as the space is getting busier and busier, you want to be able to stand out, which is a bit overwhelming because we're already thinking, what am I going to talk about? Now you have to think even deeper about it, but there's tricks and there's ways to play with unicorns and algorithms, which was the main topic. I guess the 2 main things that really stood out were definitely unicorns and algorithms from the social media marketing world. So we're going to go over some of that.
Yeah, so our episode today is mainly going to focus on exactly that. Unicorns and algorithms and how they work together and how you can strategically make your social media business as successful as possible by following some of the things that we're going to share with you today. And we thought that we would start. First, welcome everyone that is here or is watching the replay. We're very happy to be putting together the first episode of Social Chats. And we expect to do an episode every single week to work with you, answer your questions, and really just be someone that holds your hand through this journey of social media.
Should we begin with unicorns?
Let's start with the unicorns, or are we going to start with the content strategy?
Okay, maybe content strategy. Okay, so people, sorry, we're figuring this out. So content strategy. This is actually a class we're teaching, and it's really important because it's overwhelming. What are you going to talk about? You have all these different social media platforms, and a lot of people ask us, what about Twitter? What about Pinterest? What about this? What about that? And really, I think ultimately it comes down to choosing which platform you're the most comfortable with. If you love Instagram and you're on Instagram all the time, then use Instagram for your business because it's going to come naturally to you. And also think about who you're talking to and where your customers are hanging out. So if you know that none of your customers are on Snapchat or you don't really think they are, then that's okay. Just focus on maybe 1 or 2 social media platforms that you like the best.
Definitely do not need to be everywhere. In fact, you don't have the time you have a full-time job already and you're slipping in the social media as part of your marketing plan today, and you just need to focus on one, maybe two social media platforms. And to do that, Catherine's going to talk to you about creating a strategy.
Mm-hmm. So I like to divide the strategy into two things. So first you have your overall game plan, which is your long-term goals. Say, what do you want to achieve with social media? It's a lot of time, and if you're advertising, it's a lot of money. So what are your longer-term goals? And be aware of vanity goals. It's not just having more followers or more, more likes and things like that. You want to have real goals that are going to match your business. So do you want to bring more people into your stores? Do you want to get leads? Do you want to bring people to your open houses if you're a real estate agent? Things like that. So you have to be able to think, okay, well, this is what my main goals are. And then you kind of bring it back. You say, okay, this is where I want to be in the next year, my big goals. And then you bring it back to what do you want to have in the next 6 months, in the next 3 months. And then this month, what am I going to do with this? And so you keep it into perspective, and then that kind of scales it down to a content strategy for a month. So
you could have a whole big set of goals, but 3 or 4 different strategies to achieve those goals, like drives to your website, clicks to open houses if you're a realtor.
Newsletter sign-ups. Newsletter is a big thing, and we're talking about that at the conference too, is that you want to gain news followers for your newsletter, like your email list, because you own that. And ultimately, what you own is your website and your email list. The rest, social media, is free, but it's third-party applications. So eventually, you want to be able to gather emails and be able to also do some remarketing with those people. So if you send them one email, or they're interested in a certain subject, if you have their if you have an email list, you'll be able to email them again and again. So once you've got your overall strategy, and then you bring it back to your content strategy for the month, and this is what we build with our clients. We think, okay, well, the overall main goals are this. Now, this month, say the month of May, you can grab a pen and paper or Google Calendar, whatever works best for you, and you start writing it down. You say, okay, what's happening in May? Well, we know May, there's Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. So that would be, there's going to be set things that you're probably going to talk about, or have events surrounding that, or that are going to be busy weekends or things like that. So you can set the basic things. Then you can say, is there events going into my store? Do I have special open houses going on, presentations and things like that? So you start putting the main things, and then afterwards you can group the content in interest. So say you want to talk about design because that's something that's relevant to your industry. You can say, okay, maybe every Monday I'm going to do a design. I'm going to talk about design. So I'm going to share a blog post from someone in the industry, or an article or something like that. And then, so that would be your Monday content. And then you can have on Tuesday, you're going to talk about the latest, real estate trends.
Yeah, you did that really successfully with one of your pages surrounding Easter, some of the products that they were baking for the Easter time. So that would have been fit into one of your strategies in your calendars, your monthly calendar.
Yeah, so that would be that. And then the end goal in that was to bring people in store. So that was the main goal in sight. And then you're like, okay, well, what are we going to talk about? The products that they have. And then you talk about, all things going around that. But we could say, for example, for a restaurant, you can say, okay, well, we're going to share a recipe on one day, and then our behind the scene on another day, and so on and so forth. So your content would be into blocks, which make it more manageable.
Yeah, so I think what Catherine is telling us is we actually need to do a little bit of work. That means we need to take a pen and paper
That's key.
and write out everything that surrounds your industry, and segregated into different columns, and then you take your calendar for that month, those 30 days, and you pick one of those and you pop it into one of the boxes so you know what you're going to be creating as your content. And maybe even you do Throwback Thursdays every Thursday, Recipe of the Week on Friday.
Yeah. And what that allows you to do is create some folders. So now that you have kind of an idea of the content you're going to be looking for, then when you read about a great article, you can say, oh, that would be good for my Tuesday post, say, and you start saving that on your computer. So you start having a data bank, like information to use. And you can also say, okay, well, I should share some testimonial about, I get really excited, about my industry. So you can say, okay, I'm going to start doing little videos, like little testimonial videos, and then you have them all backed up on your computer so you can share one every week.
Yeah, one of the things that Catherine and I do when we're teaching is we always tell our students it would be really advantageous if you created a folder, just an empty folder on your desktop, and you called it great content for social media. Or if you're only using Facebook, you call it your Facebook folder or your Instagram folder. And when you see things, like Catherine said, when you're reading a blog and you really think that it resonates well with you and it would with your customers, that you take that blog and you drop it into your folder. So how do you drop a blog into a folder, you might be thinking? Well, what you're going to have to do is have in your folder just a simple Word document. That's a simple piece of paper from Word. And then you copy the URL of that blog and you drop it onto the paper, and it saves in your folder for when you need it. Because if we're trying to remember where we saw something or read something, it's virtually impossible. Now, I know that there is in Google a way to save blogs as well, but let's say that you saw a picture and you thought that it resonated really well for your business. You might not want to use that picture, especially if you don't have permission to, but you would put that picture into your folder and it would bring up the memory of whatever you thought about when you saw that picture. And that's kind of like you would take it and you would repurpose it. So you're building a data bank in this folder to help you with creating content.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, and then you can save all these videos, because sometimes you don't have time to do your hair and makeup every day. So you can say, you know what, I'm going to do a tip every Tuesday, Tip Tuesday or something. And so you just film them all in a row. You can change your sweater and pretend it's like a new day or something, but you have that content saved. And that, I think so. You have your strategy, you have your goals, you have ideas on content, you can batch your content in interests or in days, and then you can schedule it. And that's kind of, these are all tips to stay on top of the game with social media, because one of the big things that came out is, we have a question. This is so exciting. It's our first question of our first episode. I feel like sending you a lollipop, Jay Somerville.
Oh, Jay Somerville from Nanaimo.
Yay.
Good info question. Do you get sustainability more business with paid ads? And are there certain business types that do better? Don't mean to interrupt your message, but let me know at any time. Okay, super, Jay. Well, thank you very much for the question. And that's what we're looking for, is questions. And we're going to go into an advertising component in one of the episodes. But just to answer Jay's question quickly in regards to
paid advertising.
You know, here's the thing, Jay, that you want to think about. And it depends. If you're referring to Facebook, I'm going to assume you're talking about Facebook ads or Instagram ads. Here you are, a business, running an ad into a news feed that is personal to me or whoever's news feed it belongs to, and it's an emotional news feed. So a person's news feed on Facebook is me finding out what my sisters are all up to, looking at my girlfriend's brand new baby, or finding out that a good friend of mine has cancer. It is a highly emotional place for you all of a sudden to stick an ad. So what we try to talk about, Catherine and I, is that the ads that you run on Facebook need to have an emotional component that don't startle my newsfeed. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that this is an emotional social network. Instagram is a little bit different than Facebook. And some ads certainly do work better, and that comes down to the content, the photos, the colors, and of course, the amount of text you use. Now, funny enough, Catherine and I at the Social Media Marketing World in San Diego met one of the owners of the Dairy Queen in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't believe the amount of engagement that they got on their ads that on the photo had more than 20% text. And there is a general rule that Facebook won't send those ads into as many news feeds, Jay, with too much text on it. They call it heavy text. And when that happens, your money doesn't go as far, which means your reach, which is how many news feeds your ad goes into, is a lot less. So you want to think about the photos that you're using to grab my attention, the different types of ads that we experiment all the time. Carousel ads that add a link that people click on the picture and it goes directly to your website, your product, your newsletter. Those work really, really well. But if you use more than one picture, I found they don't work as well. So you really have to experiment. Depends what your product is, Jay, that you're trying to advertise. I hope that that helps with your question a little better.
Well, also, it is a pay-to-play game for business these days. And so it does mean that you should put a bit of money behind your best content, and it doesn't have to be a lot of money. You can experiment with some posts that you see people are really liking, and this, we're going to step into the big unicorns that are so fun. But so you do put a little bit of money behind the posts that are already working. Don't spend money behind those that are dead, that you have zero engagement, but try with $1 a day, experiment with different types of ads and see how people are reacting to them. And then, so you don't waste too much money, but you start to see, okay, there's a bit more of an engagement. I've put a bit more money. These are the ones that work best. And then you you go that way. So I would say you do experiment with ads, keep it not salesy, keep it quality content, and then
great pixels, good photos.
And just boosting a post sometimes is all you need to start with. A bit of engagement.
And also, oh, Jay, great answers.
Sorry, we're like blah, 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 blah.
Hey, Jay, thank you very much for coming on. We're going to be doing many more episodes. It's nice to see you here today. And going back to unicorns and donkeys. So let's just.
That was a big talk. And it was,
It was Kim with
We're gonna tag everybody, but anyways, great presentation. We'll put it in the comments.
So what is a unicorn?
What is a unicorn? We talk about it so much. We have unicorn stickers now and everything. It's everywhere. I even have a unicorn sticker.
So what happens is, and this has been a lot of fun for us. So when we were at the conference, one of the things that one of the speakers, Dennis Yu and Kim was also speaking about, I can't think of Kim's last name right now. They said, unicorns, look for your unicorns. Unicorns are very rare, as you and I know. There's not everything you do, meaning every post that you make goes over really well, which means you don't get a lot of likes, you don't get any shares, you don't get any comments. When that happens and a post has zero engagement, and actually if you hire a company that does auto posting for you, usually we have found that those have zero engagement.
So they're donkeys.
Those are donkeys. But we also create donkeys as well. Oh, Val. Hi, Val. Good morning. Nice to see you here.
Yes, we will save this to our Facebook page. Val, that's a question. Is it going to be saved? Oh, and we have to say hello to our other person that said he was going to miss us.
From the Tri-Cities. Yes.
Terry Hugh. So yes, Val and Terry, we will be saving this. It's going to be saved as a replay. You'll be able to watch it on our Facebook page. Thank you. By the way, where are people from watching us? If you want to comment and say where you are right now. We are on location in Whistler. It'd be nice to know where you guys are.
Yeah, we're in our hometown of beautiful Whistler, and we're looking forward to getting into some sunshine after a long season of snow and now rain, of course, to clean up the snow and get the golf courses all ready.
Okay, so back with unicorns and donkeys. I wish we had puppets so we can like puppet the unicorns and donkeys, but we don't. We'll get some. We need the unicorn puppet. So the unicorn. What's a donkey again?
A donkey is such as we were talking about companies that auto post for a lot of people. They find it's an easy way just to do their social media. It doesn't work.
It has no engagement.
If you go into your Insights tab, which is located just above your cover image, you can go into every single post that you have ever done. And this is such an excellent thing to do because some of you have been posting for years and you could find those unicorns and you could repost them or repurpose them, which means recreate something that's very similar to that you have already done that the consumer has liked, commented, and share. That is a unicorn. A donkey is a post that you created that nobody is commenting, sharing, or liking. And here's the thing. Now, unfortunately, today, our posts are not reaching all of our fans or all of the people that have liked our business page. It is absolutely impossible for Facebook today to take the trillions and trillions of posts that are being created and put them into the newsfeed of the people that like your business page or even that like you personally. So what Facebook has to do, now we're talking algorithms here, Facebook has to choose 300 stories every day to put into your personal newsfeed. That's your personal newsfeed. But also that includes, as a person, we like business pages, such as you might have liked Keep It Simple Social Media. But if I don't pay, as Keep It Simple Social Media, a little bit of money to Facebook to get my posts into more newsfeed, which is known as more reach, then basically it falls on anywhere for me 10 to 20%, which is really good. That is really good. Most pages are getting 2 to 6% of their followers or their fans will receive their message.
So if you have 100, just to put it simple, if you have 100 followers, you do this great post, maybe 1 or 2 people will see it, right?
Yeah. That's right.
What's going on. But if you focus on your unicorns and focus on the content that people like, then you'll get a little bit more. And then if you put a little bit of money behind it, you'll start creating your traction.
Yeah, and one of our episodes, as we said, Jay, is going to be about advertising, but also one of our episodes is strictly going to be on creating content and posts and working on strategy and coming up with ideas, because all of these things are, for some people, feel like a lot of work. So Catherine and I want to hold your hand and show you some simplified ways of doing this.
Well, to go back, touch back a little bit on algorithms. Sorry, I touched into the algorithms, but so what's an algorithm? And it's kind of a weird word because people are like algorithms, and it seems really scary. Really, when you think about it, it's just little robots. And robots, what they're trying to do is match words. They match keywords one with another. So that's a big part of SEO, so search engine optimization, and SMO, social media optimization, is just doing the basics of the basics. When you put a photo on the internet, make sure you name that photo. So if it's a photo of a property, you can put the address of that property and then your name or the name of your real estate company, or name those photos. So when I type into Google the name of something I'm looking for, if that image matches that name, then we will find each other. But if it's just a bunch of numbers, you'll never find it. So that's kind of
it's very similar to keyword search is what Catherine's saying. Yeah. When you create a photo, whether you're creating
any content for that matter.
Yeah, it gives you an opportunity when you're saving it to name it. And that's a great place to name what the photo is and then the name of your business. And all of these things that you do are creating a social footprint. So when people are searching the World Wide Web, they have an opportunity to find your business.
Yeah, so the algorithms will work with that, with basic SEO, so making sure you can be found. And also, there's 2 things with algorithms. On Facebook, whenever anyone likes or comments your post, Facebook is going to bring your content in between of the eyes of more people. So it's going to bring you up in what people see. And Instagram is a little bit different. It has to stay within your platform. So Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, but Instagram is going to say, well, it's not because the whole world likes this content that you're going to see it. You're only going to see it if you decide to like this particular content. So if you're a business, it means that you want to make sure that people have reasons to like or comment on your post, both on Facebook and Instagram. But especially, I'd say on Instagram, because it's a bit more narrower of a reach with algorithms. That's getting a bit complicated. Mm-hmm. But basically what it is that a way to ensure that is ask people, ask them to like, ask them to comment, ask them a question that they have to answer, and then all of a sudden they touch their keyboard, they touch the button, and then you're starting to move up because you're shaking up the algorithms.
Yeah, and Belle, thanks for asking another question. We really appreciate that. Love to see you again and have coffee with you and talk about how your social media is going. But Belle asked, okay, so what if I do a post and I don't put any money behind it and it reaches more people than like my business page, or that it says that, I guess that's what you mean by your business page, number of people that have liked your page. Yes, that's a unicorn. That is a unicorn, Belle. So recreate more content like that. But the other thing that has happened here in most cases is someone that already has liked your page, that received that in their personal newsfeed, by them liking or commenting or sharing your content, what happens is their friends can now see the activity that they are up to. And a lot of times we're just watching what our friends are doing, because there's a lot of people that are out there that are there. And that's why you need to be in your insights, because your insights tabs are going to tell you all those people that aren't touching the keyboard but are watching and seeing. Sometimes they will click the photo, which means they didn't click like, and they didn't tell you they were there by adding a comment, but they clicked on the photo. And when they clicked on the photo, that was an action. And that action is counted by Facebook and becomes part of your analytics, or your metrics that is located in your Insights tab. And that gives you a lot more confidence to know that this is working.
So sometimes I think like all this engagement and all that and all the algorithms and all that, it's like a big ball full of little things, and you want to shake it. So some content is going to shake that ball and it's going to wake up the algorithms. So for example, if you run a little contest or something, or you ask a question, or you put a really, really cute or beautiful image, even if it's not directly related to your business, it might just be like an algorithm shaker kind of thing. And then it creates little unicorns that, people like this. I will do baby unicorns and replicate that content that's actually working. So I think that a little bit sums up unicorns and algorithms. If you have any questions about that, or you want to know more, we can talk about that more. But I think we should move to photo and video. And one of the other things that stood up in our presentation is the importance of video. Oh, I keep shaking everything.
That's really pretty.
Is it proper? So the importance of video, and because video that works with algorithms as well, actually, that's a good transition. Videos are something that platforms like Facebook are trying to promote. They want to bring videos up. They want you to use videos. They're in a bit of, not a battle, but competition with YouTube.
Yeah, right? So this is what we know today. We know that there's approximately 13 billion videos watched by the consumer every single day. And they're either watched on Facebook or they're watched on YouTube. But the time that the consumer watches the video is rated differently for each network. So while YouTube only has, I think it's just over 4.5 billion videos watched every day, maybe 6 billion videos watched every day. People watch those videos for longer. So they're a really good place for you to put your educational videos. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how you put them in what order. But when it comes to Facebook, Facebook videos are watched for a much shorter amount of time. And while there's over 8 billion videos watched on Facebook every single day, they're not counted unless the consumer has watched them for more than 3 seconds. Well, to YouTube, 3 seconds is really a joke because people are watching YouTube videos for minutes. And that's how they're counted on YouTube. So now you come down to Facebook and YouTube are both getting in the business of what Catherine and I are doing today, and that's called live streaming. Very similar to what Netflix is. And so they're both starting to build this right now. You can go live on YouTube as well as Facebook, such as what we're doing. And by going live and doing longer videos, you can then do your live video here on Facebook, and then you can upload it to Facebook as an education, or to YouTube as an educational video too. So what Facebook is trying to do is they're trying to win the battle on the amount of eyeballs the consumer is consuming when it comes to video. That's why if you do what's known as a native video today, and a native video is one that you shoot quite simply and easily with your smartphone because they are brilliant for shooting video, and you take that video and you upload it directly to Facebook, that is now called a native video. That means you did not put it through a third party such as YouTube first and then shared it to Facebook. That's kind of like a no-no. So,
and it shows better. Like,
oh yeah.
Facebook is, if you take a link from YouTube and you put it on Facebook, it's going to show like this little square with text, and you're like, what? Why doesn't it show like the whole thing? And this is why Facebook's want you to stay within the platform, so they want you to load up real videos that you have on your computer or shoot it straight from your phone and put it up. And it's going to say, you know what, you made the effort to use only our platform, so we're going to shake up the algorithms and make sure your content is seen by people. And so it brings it in front of in the news feeds of more people. But then, Heather, would you have learned any tricks about shooting videos that would make better videos? Well, please share with us. Share a tip. Tip time.
All right. Well, Catherine and I have been shooting a video every single day here on Facebook, and we've been shooting different types of video because we're either using our screen to shoot educational videos in order to share how to do something usually on Facebook, or we've been shooting video using our smartphones. And today we are shooting a video using BeLive TV. So BeLive TV is live streaming straight through to Facebook. It is free, BeLive TV. We also tried to start using our live streaming off of our Facebook business page because it is there. If you notice where on your Facebook page, it's like add a photo, connect with a business near you, it gives you those 6 boxes. Well, some of us now have a little word underneath it that says see all. You have to click that, wouldn't that?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good one.
When you click that, it gives you 2 more options. And one of those is live streaming, which is exactly what we're doing. So we clicked it, we filled in all the information, but our screen never actually took action. So this is a transition that's happening right now with Facebook. There's so much to tell you that is going on with live streaming, live video on Facebook, on your personal profile. In fact, Catherine and I are going to do a live streaming with Seppi from Realty Ninja in a couple of weeks from now, where we're going to do split screen we can use BeLive TV, but we also think that you're going to be able to do it eventually first from your personal profile. So that's stuff that is coming. So let's talk about what you can do right now with shooting video.
Heather, can I shoot live with my phone on my Facebook page?
Yes, you can right now from your phone.
And how do I do that? Say I want to do a live video.
You're going to go to your Facebook business page. And when you're looking at your business page, just under your cover image, where you make a decision whether you're going to load a photo, it'll also say video, but right beside that, it says live video. And then you just click on it. Make sure you're not on Keep It Simple social media, or we'll have a double live streaming going. And then you just click on it. It then asks you to give your video a title.
We don't see really well, but if on my page right now, so if
you're right up there.
Oh yeah, I can put it right up there. It's a bit dark, but you'll see in those little buttons, it says live. So either you upload a video that you've already done, which is fine, or on these top buttons here on your page, not your personal, but your page, you'll see live, and then you can shoot live, and it won't disappear. You can save it.
And it won't start shooting right away. It'll ask you to give a title to your video, and then it will ask you to click go live, and then it'll count it down. 3, 2, 1, and then you're live.
Yeah, and once again, life is scary, but it's okay. It's genuine content, and people, it's that's another thing. It's not as much a business to business or business to customer game anymore. It's starting to be really people to people, and it's brands as people talking to other people, and your business is you talking to someone else, and life is being genuine. It's not as edited. And also, as we mentioned before, live in videos, especially live videos, bring you on top. It shakes the algorithms. You're being seen.
Facebook loves live native videos, and they're going to put them into more news feeds, which means more eyeballs for free. So now you know how to shoot your video. Catherine has a little bit of cleaner here. So one of the things that we know is people tend to keep their smartphones in their pocket or in their purse. And when you pull it out, probably your lens is going to be dirty, but we never think of these things. And it's so easy today to buy a little packet of cleaners to clean your lens, or in my case, I always carry this around, and during my class, I offer it to my students to clean their computer screens or their phones. So you want to clean your lens first before you do anything else.
And you have two lenses. I didn't know that, but you have a front lens here and a back lens. So make sure, depending where you're filming, that you clean both. And you can clean it, and then if you're doing exercise, that happened to me last weekend, and then you try to film and everything is really blurry, it's because sometimes it's just condensation or like steam or something. So you just have to wipe it up, but make sure you're...
Yeah, if you're out exercising or out
silly, but
in
it's
the rain.
such a big deal.
It
Right?
certainly is, because it affects the quality, and how you do anything is how you do everything. This is who you are. Everything you do on the World Wide Web talks about your professionalism. So take the time, care about what you're doing, and make it a good experience for the people that are viewing.
Okay.
Now, the next thing that you want to do with your phone before you start shooting is you either want to put it on airplane mode, so it doesn't.
That's a good one.
So it doesn't ring.
We always forget it.
Or the other thing that you can do is you can lock your screen. So once you turn it on to video, you put your finger on the lens or on the screen and you hold it. You just press on it, and after a couple of seconds, the little yellow block will come up and it'll say lock screen. And that also helps to quiet your phone as well. Then when your finger is still on the screen and it says locked screen, if you push your finger up, it will brighten up if you're in a darker space. And if it's way too bright, you can just pull your finger down. And now Catherine actually left that as a tip in one of the videos that we did this week. So if you do have an opportunity and you are here trying to learn as much as you can about getting better with your social media, just review our last 18 videos.
They're not long though. It's not like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to watch 18 hours of these people. Like most of them are 2 minutes, maybe max 5 minutes, and we talk a lot about everything: video, photo, scheduling, content, strategy. Look, I can remember what else we talk about, and then maybe I can give a couple of tips of photos.
Okay, let me just finish the last thing on videos. Sure. So the next thing before you start shooting your videos, I really hope that you've taken the time to write out a little bit of a storyboard. So even though this video that Catherine and I are doing is live and it's an episode, which means it's about an hour long, we actually had to sit down and strategize and talk about what we were going to share today, because there's so much information. I always say when we're teaching our courses that they're not 3-hour courses. They're 20-hour courses, and the other 17 hours you have to be doing on your own. So when it comes to shooting your video, you need to have a storyline of what you're going to be telling people. That way, when you start shooting your video, you want to start off with a nice smile. So it makes people feel comfortable and shows them that you're friendly and you're approachable. And then you have about 8 seconds to grab our attention. And in that 8 seconds, you just want to tell me, introduce yourself, tell me what you're going to tell me, and then tell me what you told me you were going to tell me. And then at the very end of your video, maybe it's 45 seconds long, you want to reintroduce yourself, maybe touch on the top tip that you gave, and then have a little bit of a call to action. So what do you want people to do? Catherine and I want you to sign up for our newsletter so you'll know when we're shooting live videos. We want you to go to keepitsimplesocialmedia.com and click sign up for the newsletter. We want you to follow Keep It Simple Social Media by clicking the like button under the cover image of our Facebook business page. And we want you to call us directly if you want to have one-on-one social media, if you want us to speak for your organization. There's so many different calls to action that you, as your business, can figure out. But that's really what you have to think about. And then you need to practice it a couple of times. You want to make sure that you test the sound, because if your sound is not clear, it makes it very hard for people to hear, and people's attention span is 3 seconds. You have 3 seconds before you'll lose us because of bad quality of sound. And going outside to shoot is a great idea. Although, unless you're using one of those, are they called a dead cat or something, that furry ball that goes on top of the mic?
Or a little microphone. You can have one attached to your phone up to here, but
the wind will pick up on it. So you have to be very careful. You have to test, you have to practice, and then just believe in what you're talking to people about. Like, we love what we're doing, so there's no problem speaking and showing our passion. And if that's how you are with the business that you're in, you'll be very passionate too. And everyone gets nervous. But once you get going and once you practice,
so go do a video and let us know, and we'll go watch it and like it and comment on it to shake up those algorithms.
And we'll support you.
Yeah, we will support you, because we found it's great to see that people are learning. And I guess some of those tips, so those are tips for video. So we've covered unicorns, algorithms, videos, a bit of strategy. Another thing is photo, and photo is linked a lot with Instagram and Instagram for your business. And I've done a video on this in the Keep It Simple social media page this week. But it's important to think about Instagram. And a lot of people are using Instagram anyways, because it's a fun platform. It got really popular in the last year, not even. It's funny because it's so new still. Like, it is and it isn't, but really it is. So Instagram is taking off. Instagram for your business is a really good thing. The reason for that, a lot of people are wondering about using personal or business. And I guess the 3 main reasons is with a business profile on Instagram, you can have call to actions. People will be able to look at your Instagram profile on their phone and directly call you. You have analytics as well. You'll be able to see what your unicorns are. Because see, you have all these Instagram posts. You can go to each and every one by one and see how many likes, how many comments. Oh, this one's a bit better. Or you just click insights and all of a sudden it shows you everything, every little square with the amount of engagement you had and so on and so forth. So now you can pick, these are the content that people like the best. So this is kind of another reason why to have an Instagram profile. And also you can advertise on Instagram from a business Instagram profile.
So you want to just say that you want to make sure that from your Facebook business page that you go into your settings tab located in the top right-hand corner. You click on settings, and then over on the left-hand side, you can look down and it will say link your Instagram account. And even if you don't have a large amount of followers right now, maybe you only have one picture up, just link your account, because when you're creating ads on Facebook, you can also run those ads if they meet the requirements of Instagram. You can run them through Instagram as well.
Mm-hmm. So Instagram is, I mean, it is good for business, and it's really picking up. And that brings you back to having good photography and taking the time. So you don't need to have a lot of content. You want quality images. So you have to take the extra step to have a beautiful image. And you can use free photo editing software to adjust your images. So there's Canva, there's Get Stencil, that we use a lot, and I guess WordSwag if you want to add some word to it, and so on and so forth. But really, when it comes down to, is for you to take a good photo. It's way easier to take the time to shoot a beautiful photo than trying to edit it after sometimes, or both. But so I guess one tip that I've learned that really stood out is that when you take a photo with your phone, you in your settings, so you go in your phone settings and it's going to say camera, photo camera. So you go phone settings, camera, and then you choose grid, and you kind of flip the little switch to green so that it says grid is on, the grid feature is on. And when you're going to take your photo, it's like if there's an alien kind of landed, we finally see the light after months. But so when you take a photo, you'll see that grid, and you can adjust where the main focus of your photo, the main subject of your photo, you'd want to have it align with the grid either at the intersections or horizontal or vertical. But test it out and you will see it does make a big difference if you kind of align things with the grid. So go in your photo settings, put the grid on, and it will just appear when you take a photo. And it's all little details, that and locking the focus, like Heather was saying earlier with video, you put your finger on the screen and you leave it there, and then you're going to be able to adjust to lock the focus and the brightness and so on. Wow, now it's really dark. Yeah, we're disappearing here.
I'm fixing it.
So
just explain what happened, that the light came in.
So the light came in, so we're trying to take the light out. We haven't seen the light in so long. Now it's really, really dark though. So we might have to turn some, and it says one of the tips to shooting video is figure out your light.
Well, our sun just changed and came into the window, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Here, I'm back again, half of my face. I wish you guys could see outside. It's so pretty. Maybe you can see outside. But it's about time to wrap up our first episode. So just to go over, I guess, what we've talked about quickly. We've talked about unicorns. We've talked about Donkey. We've talked about algorithms, the importance of a strategy, the importance of engagement, couple of photo tips, couple of video tips. Is there anything else we would like to go over? Oh, testimonials. I'm just seeing in the notes. It says how to keep your business personal when you're on Facebook. So you're not that big selling person. You can ask testimonial from your clients. If you see they had a really good experience and they're really happy and you have a good relationship, you can say, hey, do you have 30 seconds to shoot a little video? And some people are really intimidated and some others are totally into it. So ask for a video testimonial and say, can I put it on our Facebook page? And you'd be surprised. Everyone we ask for, well, I guess we teach social media so they get it a bit, but it's worth to ask, and it gives a more personal touch to your social media account kind of thing. Right? To your business, it's more personal.
Yeah, so what we've got here is a lot of light coming in from our upper windows. That is because the sun just came out. We haven't had the sun in a long time. So these are things that you learn as you go.
We're learning.
Yeah, no, it's good. So I'm just going to pick up my notes here and recap because we're getting down to our hour. Yeah, I've got an important here that as a business, you always need to be going into your insights tabs and checking up on how you're doing. Because if you're not monitoring, I think maybe if we turn this way, we can turn. There you go. Look at this way. There we go. You can see the beautiful sunshine above us. Great. So you want to be going into your insights tabs, and you want to be paying attention to how your reach is going. And if things are really looking not very good, you need to spend some money. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You can spend up to $1 a day if you want to, but you have to increase your reach on Facebook for the visibility. You also want to make sure that you have consistency with your social media, which means not once every 2 weeks or once or twice a week and then you forget about it. You have got to schedule time and make this part of your business plan in order to remain in the eyes of the consumer. And what happens is people tend to follow you. They get used to seeing you. They rely upon your information, especially if you're doing valuable information. And then all of a sudden you disappear. Well, what social media is it's branding, it's marketing, it's keeping your business top of mind. And that means that you need to actually sometimes spend a little bit of money. You need to think about the content that you're creating, and it has to have a flavor of educational and a little bit of entertainment. In fact, they call it today, edutain me. Educate me, entertain me, and remember, we are a visual society today. So whatever you're creating, grab my attention through the beauty of the photography and the good quality pixels that you're using today.
Mm-hmm. And well, there's also a video on our page about scheduling and how to keep it efficient with social media, because it is overwhelming. So you can schedule in Facebook, you can schedule with TweetDeck for Twitter. There's platforms like Later for Instagram that allow you to schedule Instagram. And there's some platforms that do it all under one umbrella, like Hootsuite or Sprout and so on. So those are kind of the things.
Hi, Scott!
Oh, we have another person.
I always have to put my glasses on because I can't.
I'm supposed to be the one keeping an eye on this. So, and also we're doing one video a day. So we need content. We have lots of ideas, but the best content we have and the most fun we have is answering your questions. So if you're trying, and social media changes every day, guaranteed that you're going to be looking at your screen thinking, what is going on? This is not working. Why is this not working? Or I have no idea what to talk about anymore, and things like that. So ask us. So if you're trying, you want to get into Instagram and you hear about Instagram stories and you have no idea what Instagram story is and you're on Google trying to figure out, I went through this. Trust me, I went through Google trying to find all the little bits of pieces of content. Hi, Scott. So ask us, because we've been through it. And sometimes we kind of get into talking about so many things, but our goal is to keep social media simple and to make it simple and efficient for businesses to be able to get in the game and have your part of this, that it's all free, it's time, but so be efficient with it and learn from us and ask us. We're there. This is our that's our job.
Yeah, using the social media platforms is free, but it's time consuming. And we all only have so much time in the day. And if you have to spend half your time searching on how to do something, then you're going to get frustrated and you just don't have the time. Ask us, come to Keep It Simple Social Media, our Facebook business page, and just say, Catherine, Heather, how do I do this? I'm confused. And we will create a video for you and we will walk you through how to do whatever you're struggling with. And if you have a group of people that you want to get together, other businesses, we will come to you and we will hold your hand and we will help you get Facebook nailed down, help you figure out the advertising components, link your Instagram accounts to your Facebook. And if you want to have Twitter involved, we can do that too. And we're also developing, right now we have
the courses. We're building some really great courses. We've already taught one in Victoria that was really successful for country chick paints. What are the new courses we have?
Okay, so Catherine has created a phenomenal Instagram course that also has photo editing and free stock imagery and how do we tie the three together. The course that I've created is all about the internet, your website auditing, and tying your social media all together. We've also developed a brand new video course, which we're very excited to be sharing with people now that we've got it ready to go. And we do Facebook 101, Facebook 202. We have a Facebook advertising course. And so we have a lot of value that we give to people. And now we have our new episode, which you're watching episode number 1 right now. And next week we will have our second episode, and we're just discussing what it's going to be first, where we think the most value is for you. But I'll tell you what, why don't you tell Catherine and I what you want us to talk about?
And we'll do a whole episode on it. So that's it. I think that sums it up.
Yeah, that was a great hour. It goes by really quick, actually. We really appreciate your time. If you're watching the replay, thank you very much. Don't forget to follow us by clicking the like button above just under the cover image. As well, you're welcome to hop over to our website, keepitsimplesocialmedia.com, and sign up for our newsletter. And if you want to talk to us personally, our phone numbers are also there.
That's it.
We thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And remember, keep it
simple.
Simple.